Samsung TVs with Tizen, Samsung watches with Tizen, Samsung fridges with Tizen. I think you're seeing what we're going at with this. What I want to talk about today is why Samsung hasn't released a phone, at least apart from the Z series, with Tizen. Why we haven't seen it on high-end phones and why we actually should have seen it on high-end phones. Today I want to discuss this topic with Benjamin of Lover of Tech. I will put the links in the description and be sure to check him out. He also makes great comparisons with the camera like the Note 9 that he did, but also some live shows where you can actually chat with him and just discuss different kind of topics. But today we're going to talk about Tizen and why they should have implemented it around the S3 or S4 time and why it is also a smart business move to do so. But let's start with the base of Tizen. Now Tizen was bought by Samsung quite a few years ago. Like I said, around the S3, S4 time, I think even before that. With the first phone being released with the Tizen software being the Samsung Z. Now this Samsung Z was actually quite a good looking phone. I don't have that phone and I couldn't get my hands on that one, and it was only released in Russia. Later on they introduced the Z1 to the Z4 and today I only have the Z2 at the moment with very low specifications. But we are still going to talk about how this actually works and how fast that actually is for a phone with these specifications. So today, like I said, I have the Samsung Z2. Now the Samsung Z2 has really low specifications. It has a quad-core 1.5 GHz CPU, it has the Mali 400 MP2 GPU, 1 GB of RAM, a 4-inch with 480 by 800 resolution, and it runs on Tizen 2.4. Now with these specifications, a normal Android device wouldn't run really smooth. However, on a Tizen device, it runs actually quite fast. I remember at the time when Tizen was still being developed quite heavily, it was faster than most high-end phones from Samsung. Yes, they did have a really heavy skin on Samsung devices back then, but still it was really fast for specifications that were even worse than this one. And that makes me wonder, how would this software actually run on a high-end phone? And I'm not the only one wondering that. Like I said, Benjamin is also asking that question to himself, how that would actually implement on a high-end phone. And how much faster a Samsung phone would be if they actually run Tizen on it. Not to mention the benefit that they can get in a marketing position. Because like Apple, they have their own software. And that gives them a strong position in the market when done well. I think Tizen would have been really interesting to see if they actually released it on a high-end phone and to see how it stacks up against something like an Android device with the same specifications or iOS, which is actually one of the smoothest experience you can get on a phone. Seriously, if Tizen was on a high-end phone, I'm pretty sure that it would give any Android device a run for its money. Not to mention the benefit you can have by standing in the same position as Apple is basically standing in. There is no other brand that actually sells a Tizen based software phone, and that really helps your marketing position. And on Tizen you can actually use Play Store, so it really benefits Samsung from having something like this. And I'm wondering why they actually didn't implement this. Now I get that while you have Android on your device, it was really hard to actually step to something else. Like we've seen with Windows, it can fail. However, what the strong point of Tizen was, apart from the faster and smoother experience, it could actually have Play Store on it. So there was a lot of benefits to having Tizen on the phone. However, Samsung didn't have the guts to put that on their phone at that time. Anyway, this next part I'm gonna give it to Benjamin and let him talk about Tizen as well.
Now, hi, my name is Ben from Lover of Tech on Concepts Creators channel, and I definitely wanted to say a big thank you to Concepts Creator and all his subscribers for having me on the channel. And after everything Concepts Creators definitely said about Tizen and Samsung, I definitely wanted to actually share and interject my opinions on the whole situation as well, and more or less my frustrations about what Samsung are doing right now is also coming from a place of where I really do love Samsung as one of the best OEMs on the market in terms of smartphone hardware, especially in my opinion since the Galaxy S6 in 2015. They've really shown the change in direction in terms of design language and hardware overall when they build their phones. But the biggest issue I can see with Samsung is the lack of cohesiveness with their software experience on their phone. With the hardware that they have, you can definitely tell that Samsung want to do their own thing. Hence why the Samsung Experience UI, which moved away from TouchWiz, and it's something that a lot of people tend to call a skin, but I think it's just not really a fair assessment to call it a skin. I actually see it as another operating system fighting on top of Android. Now, this is where the immediate conflict actually begins with Samsung, and it's something that's plagued them for a long time, especially when it comes to things like speed, fluidity, app management, the overall experience when it comes to things like even software updates. It's been such a struggle for them to actually tie in their own experience. And what I want, my wish for the next 10 years of Galaxy smartphones that are going to be coming out from next year onwards, is for Samsung to spend the same amount of time, energy, resources, money, R&D that they spend on making great hardware, not just for themselves, but for other components, for other OEMs that actually build their products, into their own software experience, a true software experience. Tizen, something they can call their own, something that they can actually control and actually merge software to hardware cohesively. Because this to me is the final piece of connective tissue that will actually make Samsung have, in my opinion, what is one of, if not the strongest hardware ecosystems. From household goods, TVs, smartphones, smartwatches, Samsung have a strong library, but the missing connective tissue is the final piece in their hardware, which is their own software, which they already do in a lot of their products, but they just need to be brave enough to be able to do it for their smartphones. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this collaboration and our input from me and Concepts Creator. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, if it's something that you agree or disagree with, or what do you think Samsung really need to do differently coming into the next decade of smartphone hardware? Because hardware is not their issue, but we just want to see them succeed when it comes to software, and it's just a great overall experience package all around. But let us know again, subscribe to our channel, and let us know what you think, and hopefully we'll catch you around next time.